You can feel when a part of your life has already ended inside you, even while everything around you still looks the same. The motivation disappears, familiar directions lose their meaning, and decisions that once seemed complicated begin to carry a simple answer. This experience is becoming stronger for many people now, and the Pleiadian transmission explains why. According to the Pleiadians, humanity is emerging from a long period of inner suspension. Consciousness has already moved beyond certain realities, while physical life has taken longer to reflect that change. This created the feeling of being caught between an old direction and a future that could be sensed without being fully reached. The Lion's Gate is now closing that distance. It is bringing the deeper direction of the soul closer to conscious awareness and pushing inner transformation toward visible choices. What has been forming beneath the surface is ready to enter daily life. This is the central revelation of the message. The confusion is lifting because the preparation is complete. The current energy is gathering people around the path that can hold who they have become. And the coming solar and lunar passages will accelerate that movement across the collective field. This is one of the most important keys in the message. The current shift is deeply personal. It reaches the places where people have continued living through old roles, old agreements, and old expectations. The Lion's Gate amplifies the truth already present within the soul, and that truth begins pressing toward expression. This explains why certain situations can suddenly feel complete. A relationship can lose its emotional hold. A familiar goal can stop carrying meaning. A direction that remained distant can begin to feel natural and close. The energy is revealing where life still moves and where the current has already withdrawn. The Pleiadians also speak about the return of creative fire. This creative energy was never lost. It remained protected while the inner structure changed. Many people were unable to move forward because the version of them that created the old life was already dissolving. The new version had not fully entered the physical experience. That process has reached a turning point. The desire to create, act, relocate, speak, or begin again now comes from a more stable place. The impulse carries direction. It arrives with the feeling that something has ripened and is ready to receive attention. The transmission connects this Lion's Gate with a powerful solar passage. The temporary veiling of the sun opens a deeper movement through the collective field. The outer light becomes partially hidden, and the inner solar presence of humanity receives a stronger activation. This solar passage brings hidden patterns into visibility. What has remained concealed begins to surface. Truth enters relationships. It enters personal decisions. It also enters larger structures that have survived through silence and distortion. The reason is simple. The collective frequency is changing, and every structure must eventually reveal the vibration held within it. This is why the coming period carries such a strong atmosphere of revelation. People will understand things they had sensed for a long time. They will recognize the true condition of a bond or the deeper reason behind a delay. These realizations return energy that had been trapped in uncertainty. Clarity creates movement. The Pleiadians describe the time between the solar and lunar passages as a corridor of accelerated revelation. The solar field awakens inner authority. The lunar field then carries the process into the emotional body, where old attachments begin completing their journey. This lunar movement allows earlier identities to release their hold. Old grief rises because it has reached the point of completion. Emotional agreements formed during previous versions of your life begin dissolving as your present consciousness grows stronger. This is another major key in the transmission. The shift involves power and emotional space. The solar current brings power home, The lunar current prepares the inner field to hold that power in a stable way. Without this emotional clearing, the new direction would still be filtered through old memories. The lunar passage creates room for a cleaner relationship with your own future. The Pleiadians also explain that many people are beginning to feel a future version of themselves moving closer. This can appear through dreams or through a sudden sense of recognition. A new direction feels strangely familiar because your consciousness has already touched that timeline. This future self carries coherence back through your present awareness. It strengthens the feeling that your life is ready to move. Desire begins returning because the path ahead now holds a version of you that feels real. The Lion's Gate strengthens this exchange across timelines. Scattered intentions begin gathering around one central direction. Energy that had been divided between the past and the future begins returning to the present, where real choices can finally be made. This is why the message places so much emphasis on dignity. Solar dignity changes the value you place on your own energy. It changes the agreements you continue to accept. It also changes the kind of future you are willing to build. When this dignity returns, your choices become clearer. You understand where your presence belongs. You recognize which environments support your expansion. Your personal path becomes more distinct because your inner signal is no longer competing with the noise around you. The transmission also speaks about a quiet wave of peacemakers rising across the planet. These souls have often felt disconnected from the world around them because their sensitivity was preparing them for this phase. Their presence carries a stabilizing frequency that reduces conflict and opens space for clearer perception. They are beginning to find one another now. This creates a network of calm intelligence across the collective field. Their strength comes through presence. They hold a frequency that allows others to remember themselves during periods of emotional intensity and rapid change. Even anger is changing its purpose during this passage. Energy that once remained bound to struggle begins moving into creation. The inner fire becomes available for honest action. It supports the courage to leave completed realities and choose a path that reflects the truth already reached within. The deepest meaning of the Pleiadian message is that humanity is entering a phase where inner transformation can no longer remain hidden inside the individual. It is moving toward form. It is entering choices, relationships, projects, and the direction of entire lives. The period of waiting has served its purpose. The confusion created space for a deeper reorganization. Now the signal is becoming strong enough to follow. The Lion's Gate marks a moment where knowing and choosing begin to meet. The solar passage reveals what has remained hidden. The lunar passage clears the emotional space required for the next chapter. Together, these movements bring the future closer to the present. The new direction forming within you is already part of the unfolding timeline. The clarity returning now confirms that your consciousness is ready to live what it has already become. The full original Pleiadian transmission goes much deeper into the Lion's Gate, the solar and lunar passages, and the timeline shift now unfolding. You can listen to the complete transmission on Patreon through the link in the description. Thank you for listening to this message. If this message spoke to what you are feeling right now and you want deeper energetic support, the Arcturian Light Shield Complete Bundle is available through the link below. It was created for protection, stabilization, and integration during intense energetic windows. Inside, you receive the Arcturian Light Shield activation, its anchoring seal, the light language mantra audio, 10 guided integration transmissions, and the consolidation mantra. This is for those who feel these shifts strongly and want a structured way to stay centered while the energies continue moving through. See you very soon.